Oops, I was muted. Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Let me get to my live chat. How's everyone doing this morning? Good morning, Pink Sugar, Taco Podcast. Charlie Girl says, good morning, Cindy Hill, Cement Shoes. How are y'all doing this morning? I'm doing pretty good. It's a beautiful day outside. I'm going to try to get some things done over at the Funny Farm and hang out with my dogs today. Hopefully, this nice weather lasts. Am I missing someone? Hey, Carolina girl. Woohoo. Finally catching alive again. It's good to see you. Hey, Mike. Good morning. Mike's freezing this morning. Is it cold there, Mike? It has been raining here for several days, and I'm glad that it stopped raining because, of my chickens and my goat, and plus I was just tired of it. Tired of the nasty weather. Although that nasty weather gives me time to diamond paint. And my Starry Night painting is looking fabulous. Every drill on it is put on there perfectly. I can't wait to get it done and show you guys. Well, now my schnauzers want to be petted as I'm live. Anyhow, I got us some things to talk about this morning. We're going to talk about Orrin and Orson West case, the missing brothers from California City, California. Also, yesterday at the end of my stream, I clicked on an article that had a picture of a little 6-year-old boy. His hair was red, like a ginger color. There's some new details about that case. His mom had killed him and tossed him into the river. The police gave a press conference and revealed some more details. Also, I saw an article on Madeleine McCann, and they say that there's some new details about the German suspect, Christian Bruckner. So we're going to take a look at that. What else was I going to talk about this morning? Crap, I've done forgot. Orrin and Orson West, little James Hutchinson. Also, there was something else. Oh, Madeleine. I can't remember. I'm going to have to go look at my notes. First, we will start off with, let me just go ahead and tell you guys about Orrin and Orson West. Bakersfield PD has taken over that case. Let me go find my article. Now, according to California, Cal City police chief, they will still be taking tips and things like that, going through evidence, but Bakersfield PD is going to lead the investigation. Okay, let me get it pulled up. I think it's going to play a stinking video on me. Okay, maybe not. Good. I'd rather just read it than play the video anyways. Every time I play a video, I get in trouble with YouTube and have to mute crap, and it's just annoying. Okay. So Bakersfield Police Department takes lead on missing West brothers case. Trezell and Jacqueline West, the adoptive parents of Orrin and Orson West, say their 4- and 3-year-old boys went missing from the backyard of their California City home after 5 p.m. the evening of December 21st. That's okay, son. Just leave it open. My dog keeps opening the door, yeah. Okay, so California City Police were in charge of the investigation for 2 months. But now the Bakersfield Police Department is taken over as lead investigating agency. The Bakersfield Police Department will determine the investigative path that is taken. We will conduct the majority of the interviews. We will process the evidence. Sergeant Robert Pear, Public Information Officer for the Bakersfield PD, said. Sergeant Pear says it makes sense the Bakersfield PD is now the primary agency. Orrin and Orson's biological parents live in Bakersfield, and this is where the boys lived with their adoptive parents before the family moved to California City in September 2020. There is a historical tie to the city of Bakersfield with these boys, Sergeant Pear said. They were predominantly raised in the city of Bakersfield. Family members reside in Bakersfield, and a lot of the interviews that have taken place through the course of this investigation have occurred in the city of Bakersfield. He says leads have been exhausted in California City, and Bakersfield PD have more resources available. Police continue to get more tips on leads in the Bakersfield area. Destiny Grandson has been a part of the Bakersfield search efforts since shortly after the boys went missing. It's not surprising to me at all. I've been waiting for that to happen, Grandson said. I'm just wondering, are they handing it over to the Bakersfield Police Department because they actually think the boys went missing in Bakersfield instead of California City? That's a possibility. I do know that Bakersfield does have more resources. Their police department is a lot bigger. Okay. John Walker, California City Police Chief, gave his statement. I'm very proud of all the officers in the California City Police Department. They have worked tirelessly on this investigation since day one. We will continue to do so until this is resolved. However, any new information, leads, or clues should be given directly to Bakersfield PD. I would ask the public to still remain vigilant by keeping their eyes and ears open for any information that may lead to the return of the boys. Anyone who had contact with Orrin or Orson West within the past year is asked to call the Bakersfield Police Secret Witness Line at 661-322-4040. I don't think those boys were ever in California City. I don't think they moved to California City. That's my opinion. Let me get over here to my chat so I can see what you guys are saying. Hey, Gingerlock's mom, never lose hope. It's a crying shame. Hey, Shay. Good morning, everyone. Sorry, I was reading and couldn't see the chat. And this case will go cold. You know what? I have a feeling that these adoptive parents are going to be arrested in a few months. I don't know why. I just had that feeling this morning. I believe it's going to take them a while to be arrested, though. But they will be arrested. This is not going to go cold like the Dior Koontz case or the John Benet Ramsey case. Hey, Mel Mel. This case is so bizarre. I know. It's so weird. They obviously didn't wander out of that backyard. There's neighbor surveillance video that shows Trezell outside with the gate open, walking in and out of the gate. You never see the boys, which it was kind of dark and a little blurry, but I believe we would have been able to see them if they had left through that gate. Hey, Miss Jones. Miss Jones, remind me, and I'll tell you a little story about Annabelle at the end of my stream. She's been a naughty little goat. But anyways, Gingerlock's mom says, Lynette. It took me a second to realize what you meant. We used to call Mel Mel Lynette. Anyhow, I prayed that they get some good evidence. I pray that they find the boys safe and sound. Is it possible someone could have kidnapped them? They could have got by the neighbor's surveillance camera. Anything's possible. I think it would be a good possibility, just saying maybe they could have got out the front door and it not being caught on camera because they're short. But that's not what Trezell said. He didn't say anything about the boys going out the front door. They were in the backyard playing with chalk, he said, and he was gathering firewood. And this damn firewood won't even burn, according to someone that lives near the area. Those sticks won't burn good. And it's just little twigs. I mean, crap, if you got a fireplace in your house, you're supposed to have some wood chopped up, some kindling, as they call it. You don't go gather up little sticks and stuff like that, especially sticks that won't even burn. I don't know. I know everybody's innocent until proven guilty, but they have just really acted guilty. They never searched for those boys, not one time. Their excuse was the police asked them not to. Like, I have followed a lot of missing kids cases, and I have seen parents out there searching with the search groups. Of course, I've seen it many, many times. They didn't even bother to look for him. Hell, they didn't even bother to look for him that night. Trezell, he left. He said to go drive through the neighborhood looking for him. He's only gone 4 to 5 minutes, maybe 6 minutes at the most. He did not look for those boys. And she didn't even come out of the house to look for her 3 and 4-year-old toddlers. These people are freaking monsters, in my opinion. I believe that they are responsible for the kid's disappearance. There's something really strange about them. I mean, when they lived in Bakersfield, their neighbors said that the kids were never allowed outside at that apartment complex. There is a nice little park there for the kids. You tell me, what family has 6 kids and they're never allowed to go outside and play? Most people be pushing them out the door to go play. You got 6 kids, you know. You know how kids can be rambunctious. A lot of people want their kids to go out and play. Of course. Something strange. Something that stuck out to me is in Trezell's first interview outside their home. He's like, we don't allow the boys in dirt. For real? You don't allow your kids to play in dirt? I thought all little boys like to play in dirt and play in sand. I mean, they have done nothing to help find these kids. Their family put up a reward. That's about it. Hold on one second. Oh my gosh, I'm about to choke to death with this crap in my chest. But anyhow, prayers for the boys. I do hope they find them safe, but I just don't. I got a feeling they did something really bad to them. I mean, is it possible that they're still alive and maybe they could have sold the boys off or something? Yeah, that's a good possibility. I think they were abusive to them. That's just my opinion. I got no proof of it, but from everything that I've read and listening to their neighbors and stuff, I do believe that they are abusive people. I do believe that they do the foster care system and adopt kids just for money. I mean, hell, everybody in the damn family fosters kids. Well, not everybody, but Jacqueline's mom, she has fostered kids, adopted kids. And when she adopted that, I think it was a little girl. It could have been a little girl and boy. But anyways, she changed their names and had a party to celebrate it. I think that is so wrong to adopt a older kid like that and change their birth name. Now, if you're adopted a newborn baby, you know, name it what you want. But older kids like Orrin and Orson, changing their names, that is so weird to me. It's like they were trying to erase like the biological mother or something. That's what, I don't know. It's what it makes me think. Thank you, Sapphire. Thank you. Yeah, I hope I get better too. My feet's like a block of ice. I think my blood pressure is too low now. But anyhow, I digress. Now let's talk about Madeleine McCann. Gosh, I wish I hadn't closed out my articles on that. They say there's some new information on this weirdo German suspect. Let me tell you something. He is a complete weirdo monster. Whether this guy is responsible for Madeleine's disappearance or not, he is still a weirdo monster. He's a convicted pedophile. I'll show y'all his picture in a minute. It says new details have emerged related. I was going to play a stinking video. Let me mute it. Let me close it. Okay. New details have emerged related to the German man suspected in the years-old disappearance of 3-year-old Madeleine McCann, including that he was known at the time to steal from hotels and holiday apartments. A recently aired segment of CBS's 48 Hours digs into the 13-year-old case involving Madeleine McCann. I need to watch that. A British girl who was vacationing with her family in Portugal, vacation hotspot of Praia de Luz in May 2007. Actually, it was May 3rd, 2007, when she vanished from her hotel room where she and her siblings were sleeping. The long-running investigation into who took Madeleine McCann, who vanished shortly before her fourth birthday, has intrigued the UK and much of the world for years. Her parents said Madeleine went missing after they had left her and her twin siblings asleep in their holiday complex while they had dinner with friends at a nearby restaurant. Police at the time said the suspect, described as a white male with short blonde hair and a slim build, was linked to a camper van seen in the Algarve in 2007 and was believed to be in the resort area in the days before and after May 3rd of that year. In June 2020, British authorities announced that a German man had been identified as a suspect, with officials later identifying him as Christian Bruckner, or Christian B, who is 43 years old and was in and around Praia de Luz resort area on the Algarve coast at the time of Madeleine's disappearance on May 3rd, 2007. Christian reportedly drunkenly told a friend that he had information about Madeleine, according to Saturday's 48 Hours segment, The Puzzle, Solving the Madeleine McCann Case. I gotta watch that. A tipster went to German authorities regarding Christian in 2017 and an investigation was commenced. Christian B is a criminal who committed a lot of financially motivated crimes like burglary or drug trafficking, said crime analyst Mark Hoffman during the segment. But he also has a darker side. He moved from job to job. He moved from crime to crime, Hoffman added. Christian sexually abused a child in 1994 in Germany, before moving to Portugal, before serving time in connection with the alleged crime, according to the report. After returning Germany to face his time, Christian moved back to Portugal. He lived in a house right about a mile from the crime scene, Hoffman said. Let me screen share this so y'all can see the resort and stuff. Oh, let me see if I can take down that comment. Okay. He canceled his car's registration in the days following Madeleine's disappearance and moved back to Germany shortly thereafter, according to the report. See, I didn't know that. German prosecutor Hans Christian Walters confirmed during the segment that Christian's cell phone data placed him in the area of the family's vacation spot around the time Madeleine vanished. But investigators are still working to confirm that Christian was the person using the cell phone at the time. The phone number placed Christian to the Ocean Club, but we have to find out which person uses this phone at this time. Normally, it was used by Christian B, Walters told 48 Hours, but we don't know which person used it on the 3rd of May in 2007. Walters told CBS investigators still needed to track down and speak with the person who contacted Christian's cell phone on the night of Madeleine's disappearance, stressing that it might be the only person who could confirm that indeed Christian Bruckner was holding his cell phone in his hand that night. He added this would be proof that not just his cell phone was at the crime scene, but that he was at the crime scene. Walters said investigators were able to link Christian to a Skype chat room for pedophiles in 2013. Sick weirdo. We have strong evidence that Christian killed Madeleine McCann, Walters said during the interview. He noted that investigators have still not recovered the little girl's body, but added, "We're sure that Christian B. murdered Madeleine McCann because of the evidence we have." Now, a year and a half before Madeleine's disappearance, he broke into an elderly American lady's complex, tied her up, and brutally raped and beat her. He also went into someone else's house. And this was a younger lady's, and he tied her up and he raped her. And there was video evidence of it. He videoed it. And what happened? His friend, I believe his friend stowed like his camcorder or something and found those videos and took them to police. Let me go back up to his picture. Now, he matches the description of the suspect. I know a lot of people think he's a scapegoat. You know, I go back and forth with it. Part of me thinks he's a scapegoat, and another part of me thinks he's a really good suspect. If he really was in the area that night, right outside the resort, more than likely he's responsible for Madeleine's disappearance. He actually molested his girlfriend's daughter. She was like 9 or 10 years old, like out at like a little park or something, and he recorded it. And how he got busted with that is the police were called over a domestic violence situation, and they took his electronic devices, and they found that video of him molesting his girlfriend's 10-year-old daughter. Yeah, he also molested a little boy too. It don't matter with this weirdo. Little boys, little girls, he don't care. Sicko. He never needs to see the light of day. But here's the thing. He will be released from prison in a few years if they don't charge him with Madeleine's murder or something else. And he is a danger to society. Whether he's responsible for Madeleine's disappearance or not, he is a danger. There's no rehabilitation for this weirdo. A while back, he got his ribs broke when he went to court. He tried to get all tough with the prison guards, and they roughed him up and they broke some of his ribs. Okay. So he does match the description. Like I was saying, it says police at the time said the suspect was described as a white male with short blonde hair and a slim build, and was linked to a camper van. And you know what? He did have a camper van. And here's another thing. Christian only lived 1 mile from the resort. Gosh, I hope they can solve this case. I know a lot of people thinks that her parents is involved. I'll never understand why they left those little children in that complex and went to eat without a nanny, without anybody watching them. The restaurant, what was it called? The Tapas or something like that. It was on the resort property, but it was a good distance away. We're talking about Madeleine, who was just, 3 years old, and her siblings, who were twins, were just little bitty babies. Now, they said somebody went to check on them ever so often, every 15 to 30 minutes. That's just something's not right with that. That is so weird. You're in a strange country vacationing and you leave your kids unattended to go have dinner. Why didn't the kids go have dinner with them? They was on a family vacation. I don't know. I heard that whole group that was on vacation was a bunch of swingers. Hey, Puffed Pluffer. Good morning. How are you? Hey, Light Feather. Hope you're doing well, hon. They said, I read an article a long time ago that said Christian was in the area to break into those rooms that someone tipped him off that worked at the hotel. Madeleine got up out of her sleep, could not find her parents, went looking for them, and that's when he had abducted her. Hey, that's a good theory. That makes sense. He had broken into that resort numerous times. He knew how to get in and out. And like I said, a year and a half before Madeleine's disappearance, he raped an elderly American woman in that same complex. She was vacationing there. He was convicted of that. He is doing time for that. I think they covered up her death for sure. Only thing that makes 100% sense to me. I still worry about the twins in their care. Yeah, they were definitely irresponsible parents. Like nobody in their right mind is going to leave little bitty children unattended at a vacation and resort in a strange country and go dine with their friends, wine and dine. Thank you, Shay Shay. You're taking blood pressure medicine too, right? I hope yours is all right. Um, Anyways, what else was I going to say? Oh, it's very strange that that resort had a nanny service, like a babysitting service, and they didn't use that service. I wonder why not. They'd rather their kids be there unattended. Little bitty kids, anything could happen to little babies or little toddlers. They could get choked, wake up, put something in their mouth, anything. Definitely irresponsible. Um, and they say that Kate McCann's book is just terrible. Some of the things that she wrote in it about some of her dreams that she's had about her daughter and stuff. I personally wouldn't have shared graphic dreams like that of my little bitty girl being raped and stuff. I guess to each their own, but I sure wouldn't do that. Okay, we'll just have to see what happens with it. They've been putting out articles for a freaking year on this guy and still have not arrested him. I'm going to have to watch that 48 Hours episode for sure. I'll listen to it while I'm cleaning or something. So yesterday, at the end of my stream, I went and pulled up an article on a little 6-year-old boy from Ohio that's got ginger-colored hair, cute as a button. And basically, all the article said yesterday is his mom tossed him into the river, Ohio River. She reported him missing Sunday and then, told cops that she tossed him into the river. Well, we've got some new details. Let me get it screen shared. He's so cute. This broke my heart. He was killed in front of his siblings, who were only in the 2nd grade. Breaking, 2 children were in the car with James Hutchinson's mother as she dragged the 6-year-old to his death after abandoning him in a park. Let me get my notes. So I've got some notes here. So she took James to a park in Preble County. She took him to Rush Run Park just a few days before he was reported missing, and she reported him missing February 28th, 2021. She intended to abandon little James there. She told James that she was going to leave him there. Actually, she was going to leave all of her kids there, but something happened. She only decided to leave him. He didn't want his mom to leave him. Of course not. He hung onto the car, and she drug him, and she ran over him. And she left him laying there at that park. She returned 30 to 40 minutes later and found James dead. She put James into her car, and keep in mind, there's 2 little 2nd graders in the car with them. She put James in the car. I'm not sure if it was the trunk or what, and she took him home. And she took him home, put him in a bedroom. And the next day, her and her boyfriend drove to the Ohio River and tossed James into it. And police still cannot find his body. They are searching for it. The water is very deep and it is moving very fast. They'll be lucky to even find his body. Let me get it pulled up here. I got it pulled up. Let's read. Okay, so she also has a 4th child who is no longer in her custody. The other kids were taken and are in foster care, of course. Let's just read it. 2 children believed to be the siblings or half-siblings of James Hutchinson were in the car with their mother as the little boy died trying to hold on to the vehicle after his mother told him she was leaving him in the park. 29-year-old Brittany Gosney of Middletown reported her 6-year-old son, James Hutchinson, missing on Sunday morning. During police questioning, Brittany later admitted that she had killed her son in recent days and dumped his body in the Ohio River with the help of her 42-year-old boyfriend, James Hamilton. Brittany Gosney reportedly said she told James she was abandoning him at the park and that he tried to hold on to her car door as she drove away. As a result, she dragged him with her vehicle and may have run him over. She left the scene and returned 30 to 40 minutes later to find James deceased with a head injury, she told police. Brittany Gosney reportedly put her son's body in the car and drove him home, where she kept him overnight in an upstairs bedroom. The next day, she and her boyfriend Hamilton reportedly drove to Indiana with the boy's body and dumped it into the Ohio River. A police spokesperson confirmed that the two children who lived in the Middleton home with James, his mother, and her boyfriend were in Brittany Gosney's vehicle at the time of James's death. They were also present in the home while his body was in the residence. Both children are in the second grade and are now in custody of Child Protective Services. At a press conference Monday afternoon, Chief David Burke with the Middleton Police Department said he believed Brittany Gosney intended to abandon all of her children in the park. Police also said that Brittany has a fourth child who is not in her custody. That child was reportedly adopted out of foster care. Thank God. Thank God he was adopted out, not around this monster. These two monsters. I hope he has a good life. Brittany is currently jailed on a $1 million bail, facing multiple charges, including murder. Hamilton has been charged with abuse of a corpse and tampering with evidence and is being held on a $105,000 bond. Police are continuing to search for little James Hutchinson's body. Isn't that sad? He was begging his mom not to leave him and holding on to her car. And she just drug him, ran over him, and just left him there to die. And these other two little children had to witness their brother being drugged by that car, crying, screaming. You know he was. You know he had to have been screaming. They're probably traumatized right now. Hopefully they won't, I hate to say this, but hopefully they won't remember this. You know what I mean? Because they are just in the second grade, but crap, I can remember things from the second grade. Bless little James's heart. He is cute as a button. He reminds me of Dennis the Menace. It's so sad. I'm going to look at my chat in just a minute. I was trying to pull something else up I wanted to share with y'all. Let me look at my chat. I know this was an article that I read early on when they were still looking for her and her parents were making statements. Those poor kids. How? I know it. I don't know how anyone could do the adoption. Seems like a crapshoot for these kids. Like, I know it. I couldn't tell you how many cases that we've discussed on here where the kids were adopted and then later abused and murdered. But you know what? There's a lot of good foster parents in the world. My aunt and uncle, they've been doing foster care for years. They do it for the right reasons. They've adopted several of the kids that went on to graduate and still a part of the family, of course. Look, if they're going to take one kid from the home and put them in foster care, that shows that the mother or the parents can't take care of the kids. So why did they let her have these other three kids? See, that don't make sense to me. So she's not capable of taking care of the one kid, but she can the other three? See, that don't make sense to me. Parents need to know it's okay to ask for help if they need it instead of being ashamed. I mean, in general. Well, you know what? Yeah, that's true. But a lot of these monsters, they don't want help. They want to abuse something or someone that's vulnerable, that's weaker than them. That's how they make themselves feel powerful. They're sick, sick individuals, y'all. They're really cowards deep down inside. They feel weak. So when they abuse something that's weaker than them, it makes them feel strong and powerful. It's crazy the way their minds work. So crazy. Um, let's see what else is going on. I think that's all I had this morning. Oh, I saw the New York governor is in a lot of trouble for sexual harassment. Well, he's not in like a lot of trouble, I wouldn't think yet, but looks like he's going to be. Let's see if I can say his name. Andrew, is it Como? Something like that. Says third woman accuses New York governor of sexual harassment after unwanted touching at a wedding. What makes these men think that they, just because they hold a powerful position, that they can just come up and touch you on your lower bare back and your bottom and stuff? It's sick. The days of these rich, powerful people getting away with this crap is over. It's over. The public is not going to allow it anymore, and the law's not going to. Let's take a look at this. I don't want to read the whole thing because I read it this morning. It is a really long article. I may read it. Who knows? Okay. It says a third woman has accused New York Governor Andrew, I can't say his name. Mark told me this morning. Andrew Como, I think, of sexual harassment. The New York Times reports, saying he asked to kiss her at a wedding reception in September 2019. Anna Rutch, 33, told the Times she had never met the governor before that day when she thanked him for his comments about the newlyweds, who were friends of hers. But then she said he put his hand on her bare lower back, prompting her to remove his hand. I promptly removed his hand with my hand, which I would have thought was a clear indicator that I was not wanting him to touch me, she told the Times. I'll tell you someone else that's a little touchy-feely is President Biden, in my opinion. A photograph captured what happened next. According to Rutch, the governor said, according to Rutch, the governor seemed aggressive and then put his hands on her cheeks and asked her if he could kiss her. He said, "Can I kiss you?" I felt so uncomfortable and embarrassed, when really he is the one who should have been embarrassed. I was so confused and shocked and embarrassed, Anna said. I turned my head away and didn't have words in that moment. I'd have slapped the dog piss out of him. The governor spoke loudly enough for a friend standing nearby to hear, and that friend corroborated Anna's story along with text messages from the time and photographs. The governor was accused last week of sexual harassment by two former aides. First, Lindsey Boland, I think it says that, ex-special advisor and deputy secretary for economic development in his administration. She published a Medium post in which she said that the governor abused his power to sexually harass her and other women in the workplace. Then on Saturday, the Times published a lengthy piece written from interviews with Charlotte Bennett, age 25, a former executive assistant and health policy advisor until she left in November. Bennett told the Times that the harassment, which included questions about her sex life, whether she was monogamous, and if she ever had sex with older men. So freaking disgusting. The governor's office didn't directly comment on Anna Rutch's story when reached by the Times, instead referring to a statement the governor put out on Sunday night in which he said he acknowledged that some of his comments may have been misinterpreted as an unwanted flirtation. Yeah, right. It wasn't misinterpreted. To the extent anyone felt that way, I'm truly sorry about that. Bennett told the Times the governor's apology was insufficient. These are not the actions of someone who simply feels misunderstood, she wrote in a public statement. They are the actions of an individual who wields his power to avoid justice. Anna told the Times that after she had collected herself that night, she looked for the governor, hoping to confront him about his behavior, but she didn't find him. I've been in situations like that. You kind of freeze up and you don't know what to say until the moments pass. And then after you got a few minutes to think about it, you just get so angry about it. It's the act of impunity or something that strikes me, Anna said. I didn't have a choice in that matter. I didn't have a choice in his physical dominance over me at that moment. And that's what infuriates me. And even with what I could do, removing his hand from my lower back, even doing that was not clear enough. So the governor has asked for an independent investigation of the allegations, and Beth Garvey, a special counsel to the governor, initially announced that Barbara S. Jones, a former federal judge in Manhattan, would lead the investigation. But on Sunday, Garvey reversed course and said that the governor's office had asked New York Attorney General Lita James and Chief Judge of Court of Appeals Janet DeForia or something like that pick an independent attorney in private practice without affiliation to conduct the review and issue a public report. Jesus, that was long. Um, all members of the governor's office will cooperate fully, Garvey said. We will have no further comment until the report is issued. I'm telling you what, some people, I mean, I don't know if this is true or not. I got a feeling that there is some truth to it. This woman obviously felt uncomfortable. And I actually saw a picture of from the wedding this morning, and he did grab her cheeks with his hands. It's like, looked like a very intimate moment to me. That would have probably made me uncomfortable too. I was going to say something else and I forgot my train of thought. Oh, yeah, these people claim to have integrity. Integrity is doing the right thing when no one's watching, having good morals when no one's watching. Some of these older men, now there's some good older men in the world, but some of these older men, I've had experience with them. They're plumb downright dirty. And especially when nobody's looking and when you're in a room by yourself with them. Yeah. Home. Is it Como, Miss Jones? Oh, thank you. Oh, I see you put me a word to rhyme with. Okay. Thank you. I'm moving to the country and getting off grid. I'll just use solar and battery powered. Yeah. I like to live off grid. Word on the street is that Como wants to run for president and Kamala feels threatened. I don't know much about that Kamala Harris. I don't know much about her. I don't know a lot about politics. I just know about Trump and a little bit what was going on because, the hubby follows that stuff. Um, I think all politicians are crooked, in my opinion. They're all out for themselves and to help their big, powerful buddy friends. Amen, CC. I have a wall decor that says exactly that. Really? Integrity is doing the right thing when no one's looking. That's exactly right. That's what I told Mark this morning when I was discussing this with him. Bobby Kennedy Jr., he is a touchy-feely guy as well, but he is so handsome. I'm going to have to look him up. I don't know if I know what he looks like. I know Biden is a touchy-feely person, and what's up with him sniffing people's hair? I've noticed that. Do y'all remember when Obama was president and they went over there to meet like the Japanese emperor and empress? I guess that's what they're called. I can't remember. But you're not supposed to touch her, the empress. You're not supposed to touch her. And he touched her. I can't remember exactly what he did. He helped her sweater on her shoulders. He did something. He touched her. It was something to do with her shoulders. And that's like a big no-no over there. I don't understand why these people don't research cultures before they go to another country. That kills me. Who has nipple rings? President Biden has nipple rings? Hey, Cheryl T. Or Como has nipple rings? Who the hell has nipple rings? Oh, God, that hurts me just thinking about that. He's a he's a kinky little F. Oh, I bet. I bet Como is. I told Mark, I said, yeah, I can see him being all sneaky. And when you get behind closed doors alone with him, I bet you he's a complete perv. Of course, I could be wrong. So this lady that was at the wedding said he touched her lower bare back. She must have had on a dress with the back out of it's all I can figure. Unless he rich up her blouse or something. I don't know, but I would have smacked the dog piss out of him. I would have rung his damn bell for him. I've done it. I have done it. There was a guy at a bar one time. I leaned up to adjust my clothing, and when I sat down on my bar stool, he had his hand laying on my seat. I smacked the dog piss out of him. I rung his bell for him. He got kicked out of the bar. Hey, Wiggleworm. Nasty it is. Hey, Colleen. You're here. You're late, girl. I'm getting ready to end my stream, but that's okay. You can watch the replay. Give y'all some late slips. Okay, so I want to have a game night. Anybody wants to host with me, they can. But I think I was going to have it tonight, but I think we're going to do it on hump day. We'll do it on Wednesday night because that's the middle of the week and we will all need a little fun by tomorrow night. I'm going to try to be on camera. I want to show y'all one of my pretty Carol Baskin shirts. It's not a Carol Baskin shirt, but it's like a navy blue with little like cat print on it, leopard print, but it's really pretty. I got about 16 new shirts the other day, basically brand new. Some of them were new from my mom's double first cousin, and she likes animal print, but she has a lot better taste than Carol freaking Baskin. But anyways, I wanted to wear my animal print shirt, one of them, and one of my Carol Baskin headbands, and we're going to play Family Feud. That's what we're going to play. We'll ring. Like Fader says, ring his bell. And it was definitely deserved. Yes, I rung his bell good, honey. You don't disrespect me like that. Oh, yeah, I was going to tell y'all something else before I get off here. There's going to be, y'all know the Dr. Seuss books. 6 books are no longer going to be published because of the racist imagery. So it turns out the writer of the Dr. Seuss books was a racist. Yeah, they found they've been studying a lot of his work and stuff, and yeah, Dr. Seuss was a racist. That's a damn shame. It's so disappointing. Okay, scroll, damn it. Okay, let's see which books it is. Dr. Seuss books have been beloved by children and adults for generations, but 6 of them will no longer be published because they are racially offensive, according to the business that preserves the author's legacy. Dr. Seuss Enterprises says that these 6 Seuss books, including And to Think That I Saw It on Mulberry Street and Scrambled Egg Super, portray people in ways that are hurtful and wrong. I'm not familiar with those books, I don't think. The company says it made the decision to cease sales on these books, which also include If I Ran the Zoo, McElligot's Pool, and Beyond Zebra and the Cat's Quizzer, after consulting with educators and reviewing its catalog. The announcement was made on Tuesday, March 2nd, Dr. Seuss's birthday, though the decision was made last year. The move comes as President Biden also admitted mention of Dr. Seuss on Read Across America Day, which is held annually on the author's birthday. Dr. Seuss, oh gosh, let me see if I can say his name, born Theodore Seuss Gizzle, something like that, has come under increased scrutiny over the years as his history of racist and anti-Semitic work have been uncovered. A study of 50 Dr. Seuss books in 2019 found 43 of the 45 characters of color had characteristics aligning with Orientalism, and 2 African characters had anti-black qualities. I'm not sure what that means. Of the 6 books being pulled, the Cat's Quizzer and If I Ran the Zoo were cited in the study specifically for examples of Orientalism and white supremacy. It's the first time I've ever heard of Orientalism, but I think it's just like being racist against people from different countries, such as, someone's from India or Mexico or somewhere like that, being racist against them. Well, this kind of makes me look at the Dr. Seuss books differently now, knowing that the author that wrote them is a racist or was a racist. So is it just racist when white people notice culture or when anyone else does? I don't know. I do not like to talk about that subject, but I did want to share that with y'all. I mean, they make out like he was a big time racist or something. This is so stupid. I'm sorry, but I don't believe people should be able to stop to sell books. It's very disturbing. It's very slippery slope. Yeah, I don't know if I agree with stopping the sale of books, because it's like our, you know, we're free to read and write what we want, right? But it does make me look different about the Dr. Seuss books. Hillary Clinton lives in my home. I can't stand Hillary Clinton. You know why I can't stand Hillary Clinton? Because she once represented a rapist, and she was caught on recording making fun of the victim, which was a young girl, like about 13, 14 years old. She was brutally raped by Hillary's client. He damaged her so much she could never have kids. He left her for dead. Hillary, someone recorded her talking about the case, and she was calling that girl promiscuous, acting like she was a slut. It was disgusting. I can't stand her over that. Soros, basically live class, but I don't know him. I like to call her Hillary. Yeah, she's not for the women. She acts like she's for the women. If she was for us women, she wouldn't have been making fun of that girl, a rape victim. I don't care if it was years ago when she was practicing law. It still shows a lot about her character. A lot about it. Well, guys, I guess I'm going to get off here. I'll see y'all in the morning. Tomorrow night, we'll have our game night. I did plan on doing it tonight, but I thought, no, let's just wait till Wednesday. Because I may be tired tonight because I got a lot of stuff planned to do today, like some work to get done. So I'll set up us a stream for tomorrow night. And channel members, we're probably going to have a Google Meet this week sometime. We'll probably do it Thursday night. Exactly, CC. Their words are not actions. Yeah, that's the way I think. Oh, thank you, Mel. I'm glad you made it. I was going to ask you if you wanted your, hold on, wrench back here. Used to mod for me. Okay. All right, I was just fixing that. Give Mel's wrench to her. All right, y'all have a good day. If there's any breaking news about the West brothers, or if they find little James Hutchinson's body in the Ohio River, I'll do a live stream or a video and let you guys know. But anyways, y'all have a great day. Be safe, be kind, and peace. And thank you all for your support. Love you guys. Peace.